we'll carry on with our open mat footage. We've got stuff from yesterday, our last day of open guard. Get the footage pulled up. And get into it. Oh yeah, man, we'll do it if you got it or if Mike has it. We will definitely go over it. Looks like well, hopefully not too much happens too far on the other side of the screen. It looks like this cropped a little bit smaller than usual. Okay, good. I'll talk to Cole about it. How'd you do out there, Dylan? Did you enjoy yourself? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, there we go. So this first round or two looks a little tight. So we got me and Andrew, Nick and James. Nick getting behind James very nicely. Goes for the trip. James does a great job winning that scramble. The difference in... So there are two ways you can take somebody down here. This is a good way to do it, where Nick is kind of pulling James back, trying to turn him that way. This foot would be stopping James from stepping out and keeping his base up. Problem is, with this method, you often just initiate a scramble. Not the worst thing. Let me turn this music down real quick. Not the worst thing in the world to start a scramble if you're confident in your ability to win it. But another way to take somebody down here is actually switching your legs. So Nick would turn really hard in this direction. This leg would step across. This leg would backstep. So he's kind of doing like a 90 degree to 180 degree turn, dropping his level and tripping James that way. When you can execute it nicely, you tend to stay in a more maneuverable position, whereas your opponent hits the ground. If you want to look it up, I think it's like maybe a rear Tai Otoshi in judo, like Taiotoshi. And there are also, I don't know what the name is in wrestling, but it's common in wrestling as well. What's up, James? Andrew looking for that power arm drag. James playing from butterfly guard. And Andrew on a nice single that I was able to fight out of. Oh, damn. I can't tell what happened there, James. If you tried something and Nick just timed it well. Oh, no. It looks like Nick hits his throw by. So you can see his right arm doing a knee push. Kicks his left leg back to get it out of the way. Really, really nice guard pass. Similar to what one of the things I was showing in class, except he's doing it from a kneeling position. But you do a good job to keep your knee in. Looking for the arm bar. Yeah, but just enough to get your guard back. Terrible attempt on a shot from me, so now I gotta crawl my way back out of this from 4-point. Which I feel like I've gotten really good at doing just because my shots are so unsuccessful. Jake, how many matches did you have yesterday? Didn't you have like 7 or something crazy? I was trying to follow along on Smooth Comp during class. Terrible attempt at a takedown from me. And James, nice stand up. 6 heavyweight and lightweight all mixed together. Was that your first competition that you've ever done? Because that is a hell of a day. I don't know if I've ever had... The only time I ever had 6 matches in a day was when I used to train, when I used to compete in gi as well. So gi and no gi. Nick rolling up the turtle. That's a hell of a first time out, man. I'm glad you got some good experience though. It's not always easy to come by. The worst comps it's when you show up, you got like 1 or 2 matches, and you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. There goes my entire Saturday. Yeah, that's always it's always fun. That's why it's really good to not be out there by yourself. That's a big thing we try to pay attention to when we're all out there together. It's like, hey, we've got one guy out. He has the only coach here. Or hey, he's competing right now, so don't disqualify him when he's not here in 4 minutes. Nick's settling into this butterfly half guard top position. James looks like you're struggling with not knowing the time again, as we saw a couple weeks back. Andrew crowding into me over here on the side of the screen. I like Nick's attempts here to like mix together some of his passing, because he's doing that. He's working like that. I don't want to call it loose passing, because he hasn't been loose passing at all, but he's doing that like knee push style, trying to work body locks, addressing the things as James is throwing them at him. There we go. Back to our normal screen. Yeah, that's good, man. That Luke and Mike, they're always gonna make sure that you're not like, hey, this guy just came off the mat. Can he have like 5 minutes, please? It makes a huge difference. Let's see this counter from John. Looks like Jason goes in Uchimata, gets Jason's hands to the mat, and then Jason cartwheels over him. I feel like John has worked on this a lot lately and is only getting more successful and smooth with it, and it's frightening. I don't want him doing that to me. That was good though. Really, really good reaction. Alex, me and Alex over here, Alex did a great, he had a great showcase of like just solid defensive fundamentals. Like, I don't know if I really got close to like finishing anything in this round. I'm obviously not gonna like heel hook him here, because I know he's still going through that, learning the proper defensive reactions and all that stuff. But excellent guard retention. He puts, in another match we have later, he puts on some really good demonstrations of passing. Always makes me proud when you guys can like execute the stuff that we did during class during a live roll. That's the best. Jason with the back take. Nice, gets behind, kicks those legs out. It's good, but John sneaks his hips out. Notice how quickly John got his hips out and didn't have to worry about anything. Before Jason could lock in any hooks, John's like, all right, cool, my neck is safe. Let me get my hips out here in this pseudo, it's not even a crucifix position, but it's like this kind of T position that they're in. And John can either scramble up as he does, or at the very least re-guard. This was the funniest attempt at that ninja roll I think I've ever done. Like, Alex doesn't even move. He just digs his feet into the ground. What's up, Espionage? How you doing, bruh? Hope you're enjoying your weekend as it comes to a close. I got a 3-day weekend, which is pretty rad. Gonna stay up late and put together IKEA furniture. It's gonna be so sick. Ronnie passing from a heavy top half guard, really driving the shoulder in. Petting Nick on his head. John disengaging. Jason must be pissed about that one. I would be. Little head plant. Hop around. Really, the main mechanic that's working here when John does this is keeping the head, like, it right now, from the looks of it, Jason's head is a little bit behind him, but John is pointing, trying to push Jason's head towards his feet. That makes his feet heavy, and it makes it harder for Jason to rotate and keep up with him. So there's some really fundamental stuff going on there. It's not John just like jumping past and moving around. Nice sweep from Nick. Gets the Sumigeshi. Yeah, you did get swept. What's up, Baker? How you doing, buddy? Ronnie got the clamp on. Let's see if Nick can get out of that. This foot isn't doing anything when it should be, but it might. Yeah, there we go. It might be kind of hard since that was his bottom leg. All right, I want to give Alex some really well-deserved credit here. So I open my guard. He goes for this, what I always refer to as like a Khabib-style pass. You saw Khabib Nurmagomedov do this a lot in the UFC. But he hugs the legs. I think Luke probably went over this in the last 2 weeks. I may have been there, I may not have been. But he hugs the legs, keeps my knees pinned, keeps my knees pointing in this direction, and wisely passes in the opposite direction. So he comes up the back, starts transitioning up my head. He lets go a little early there, like I can kind of get my knee in. But he settles back in to a body lock pass. So there, we've already seen two styles of passing, two techniques that he's putting to use, working through the exact same things we went over in class, pinning that leg to my butt with both legs. He's taking his time. He's not trying to hop over my knee. I assume he pinned my leg there. So he passes into half guard because I managed to catch that leg. So now body lock pass, passing from half guard. Crawling up the body, he's got to get that leg free, but he gets a gift wrap instead. So he keeps it in, does a chair sit to a high ball ride, and in a second I think he throws in that top hook. So he went through like 3 different styles of passing until he was able to actually pass, and did so with a back take. So that was really, really excellent work. Really slow, controlled work the whole way through, which I love to see. Ronnie got swept. Now Nick is trying to make her suffer. Nick riding that top turtle position, though, with no hooks in. You gotta be careful there, man. There we go. Yeah, slow day. You weren't there, man. Everybody knew you weren't gonna be there, so everybody's like, well, I'm not gonna go. Jordan's not there. No, we had like 5 of the adults out competing, so John pulling out a good Kimura there. Really chases it down. Jason trying to get his hips up and over, but just can't get there in time. How you doing, Jordan? Miss you, buddy. Nick onto the back now, looking for the arm bar. Can Ronnie pin that leg? Could she get her arm free? There we go. Arm comes out. Starting from side control, I guess. Oh, I think they just moved. Yeah, another thing Alex did really well here, he constantly repummeled. So I would try to open that arm up or give him a reason to touch my knee. So that's why I'm going to knee on belly. When someone pushes on your knee with their arm, it gives you a really, really easy entrance to an underhook. So I'm trying to bait this underhook. Every time I get there, he quickly repummels back in. So he's denying me this opportunity to isolate the far arm, to establish an underhook, to, you know, help me get across the body. There I catch it briefly and I'm able to use it. But even then, he's quick to work a really good elbow escape, and goes on to just shut down my mount game. Mixed results in competition. Overall team did well. Some top guys didn't. Got a 3 as well. Hell yeah, man. Sounds like a great weekend. Yeah, we had some ups and downs this weekend as well, but that's good. I I don't know. When it comes to local comps, where it's like you're paying to be in it, when I catch a loss or like any of the guys catch a loss, I could not care any less about it. Like I know they'll be like disappointed, but I personally have learned more from my losses than any of my wins. And since I'm not trying to be a professional, that's the best possible response for me, you know. Also, Hamilton was pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't even like musicals, but it was a good musical. I may have gone if I had the opportunity. Then again, I also don't have a dog to hang out with at home, which sounds pretty rad. Quick cross Ashi entrance into Jason. How did Nick and Alex get to the ground? Ah, a little Hargoshi. Alex, I don't know if you recognize the vulnerability here. Your head is way out in front of your feet. Nick has the leg up the middle. He's in the best spot. This whole position is a battle for knee position. So whoever has the knee in front of the other is kind of winning this position, especially if you're this far bent forward. So yeah, you're pretty much going for a ride with either Uchimata or Haragoshi. This time it's leg all the way to the outside. Big whizzer from Nick. Only thing I don't like about this, Nick, your head is really low. You should be leading with your shoulder, not your head. Your head, for a good whizzer, should never be below your opponent's head. And right now, because I'm arrow happy right now, you can see your head's significantly lower. But you get it. You power through it. It's good enough. Just be careful with that. Try to keep your head up and drive with your shoulder. It's a catchy event. Won a bunch of Tonys. It's catchy. The IBJJF. Okay, all right. That's bigger. I mean, our guys just did a new breed, right? That's that's not quite the same level as IBJJF, I would say. I would think. Only one of our pros, one gold, the other silver. Our Matt Assassins. Let's see the first round. Blue belt at a D2 wrestler. That sounds like a tough time. That would have been cool to see. Would have had Pat Downey. Yeah, I don't know unless like, well, Downey doesn't get DQ'd from punching people. I think that's his opponents who want to punch him. He just gets in guys' heads. Yeah, that is a bummer, man. It's when you sign up and you think you're gonna have a nice long day, you get those single elimination tournaments. You're out the first round. Kind of blows. I can guarantee you, Cole misses you too, man. I think Cole misses all of us right now. But he's getting repaired on Thursday. This coming Thursday. So Jason working through this cross Ashi escape. Let's just check what happens. So I set it up. I've got the secondary leg. What I'm trying to do here is pass his leg across. I'm not counting on him turning the way he does. Not because it's a good move, because it's not. It's the reason why this match ends this way. I'm counting on him trying to face me, and when he continues facing me, when his leg is crossed over my chest like that, it's really next to impossible for him to get out. But since he turns over, he puts himself into a knee bar, and a lat knee bar at that, which is, you guys should know, a pretty powerful one. So I can just kind of settle into this, set on a little bit of pressure, and he eventually taps to it. But yeah, recognizing that as not the right response to turn in that position could have saved him. He tore his right personality and his left bicep. Flew all the way to Florida. Damn, dude. Wait, so oh, okay. Matt Assassins is okay, that's the name of the competition. I'm not familiar with Matt Assassins. I didn't know that was an event in Florida. That sucks. That really sucks. I mean, a bum shoulder and a bum bicep. Yeah, it's kind of a useless arm, but if you guys combined your legs, you'd be very strong there. Trying some float passing on Jason. I think to anybody who was at class yesterday, and I talked about why I don't really do it much. This is kind of why. Like, Jason, you know, at this point, it's not difficult to just like get out of the way and kind of turn on your back while your opponent's trying to float past your legs. If none of you have any idea what I'm talking about, that's fine. I briefly touched on it in class. I still end up past him, but like not the way I had anticipated. Sorry, I know I keep skipping around. Just trying to see Alex and Nick. Look at this. Look at Nick. Here we go. Hand to the head, same side. Other hand to the knee, cross side. He pushes the head. Nick pushes the head to his right, pushes the knees to his left. He's going to step this leg out of the way and then settle in. I'm telling you guys, stupid simple, effective pass. I love that pass so much, and it doesn't get used enough. Andrew attacking Veronica's leg. John and James working something. 10K first prize bracket. That guy. I mean, hey, if he's trying to be pro about it, that's what you got to do. And I guess he would have netted, right? If he won that, it would have been worth the trip. That's a long flight back. So I'm looking for the armbar here on Jason. I've got to get him turned over. But he has his other arm in, which gives me this side triangle. This is the most upsetting side triangle I've ever failed at. I have no idea how Jason got out of this. Right here, it should be pretty much done. He even told me he was pretty close to tapping, but he just kept feeling like he had a place to move. So he hung on for long enough. I mean, this is pretty damn tight. But he's able to disrupt it enough that I think about going back to attacking the Kimura of the hand that's right near me. You can see me trying to take a two-hand grip on it. He's staying in the pocket here, trying to disrupt my connection with his legs. Here I'm trying to turn on the Kimura. I feel like I should be demoted for not finishing this, or promote Jason. This was a really solid defense by him. Also, I'm not going to wrench very hard on a Kimura at an open mat, but that was so good. Such good defending from him. So happy and angry for him and at him. Nick crawling his way around to the back here. We could trade belts. Trade belts. I know, Ronnie. I know you would. Okay, Caleb's different. If this was like a Thursday or a Tuesday open mat, which normally doesn't get recorded espionage, I may have done just that, but I got an image to uphold here. Can't be teabagging on Twitch. I think that gets me banned. I should make a teabag emote. I think I'm gonna do that. Who wants a teabag emote? As if my to-do list needed anything else. Sorry, I'm gonna miss something while I write this down. So if I need to go back to anything, y'all tell me. Andrew's heel hooking you? Yeah, I saw that. Well, let's look at it. Yeah, exactly. Snitching on myself. So Ronnie there. Ronnie goes. She gets swept. Kind of an Upa-ish. Andrew goes standing guard break and then sits into a straight Ashi to the outside heel hook. Now, this is a good spot for Andrew. He's got really good heel exposure. Looks like they're talking through it, having a conversation. And I just end up in cross again. Loose to start, but we tied it up. Good. Yeah, Andrew's heel hooks are getting scarier and scarier. He's really starting to work through the turns and all the angle transitions. Kind of like I'm trying to do with Jason here. Unsuccessfully. Running out of time. John and I have a fun one. The sloppiest overtie foot sweep, but I want to look at it just because I never get to hit these. But they're working the overtie, I think he had a collar tie on me, right? Yeah, so he's collar tying me. Switch from this kind of loose bicep tie to an overtie. Stepping back. Something I really mess up later, probably with James, or James just his footing is better when I try to do this. But I step out of the way when I hit the snap, and then now I know he's not going down, but he's gonna stand back up. So I come in for the trip and put him down. One of a few different outcomes from an overtie snap, and then he just decides to stand up, and my feelings get hurt. He's so damn scrambly. It's annoying how good he is at it. I gave him my secret to finishing the hip bump sweep a couple weeks ago. I hit one on him, and I can guarantee he's never gonna let me hit it again. So I don't think I even really tried there. Second time he like picks me up with that leg. Let's see Nick here again, working that. Same thing, right? Head push, knee push, fill the space. Gets that foot in really close. Nick, that makes me so happy to see you doing that. I feel like you've done that before I taught that at class. Like it's not like you just had a breakthrough with it yesterday, but since that was one of the things we went over, it's awesome. Yeah, he is John definitely puts like the whole like over back octopus guard stuff to work. Especially I think yesterday he hit it with me like 2 or 3 times, I think. I was just far enough away to not get swept out from underneath me. It's like James putting some body lock passing to work, attempting. There we go. Very nice, James. So there, tucking the foot in. And there you took more of the, like a faster approach, right? You caught Alex with his knee down. You were able to get over the knee before he could adjust and bring it back up. Again, I think I said this during class, like, it's not like a bad technique. It's an opportunistic one. If you catch your opponent being lazy on that, you can step right around. That's perfect. If they are being stubborn about it, that's where you'd want to do like, you know, pushing down with your forearm, pinning that leg to the mat, stepping over, straddling it, etc. Everything we went over. Nick failing on the Katagatame. Or Andrew just doing really good. Maybe I should be more positive. Give Andrew credit on the defense. I have a feeling your head was coming up a little bit there, Nick. Might have given Andrew some space. Big turn and sprawl from me to get safe. Trying to put some Anaconda stuff to work that Mike and I were going over, but not doing the best with it. I wouldn't put it past him. James, did you... Oh, here we go. I missed this one, James. So here, that little sit-up, over-back sweep. You really got that thing nailed down, man. That was great. There's the Anaconda. Andrew doesn't really talk too much smack, though, but he'll whisper some highly suggestive sweet nothings into your ear. Get you distracted. Trying so hard to stay on that leg. Great awareness from John through this whole thing. Again, John, when he started with us, already been training forever, but I think he even said like some of the leg locking stuff was stuff he really wanted to work on. So it didn't take long for him to get comfortable in these positions, working through defense. Obviously, great balance from his judo background and not just judo. He's an extensive, experienced martial artist, but good work here as I'm in outside or switching into outside ashi from this like tripod sweep attempt, switching to outside, trying to capture that heel, turning him over, exposing my back. He keeps his leg safe and is able to go onto the counter. It's always a different game when the heel is caught, but when it's free and you could keep all that movement, it's really good. Nice Kimura from Nick, a one-armed Kimura here. Nick putting to use the half guard passing dilemma, where you're either gonna get the leg out, or you can start sitting up in the cross ashi. Not quite set up for the leg spin, but this is very nice. Andrew can't really see what's going on here, and Nick's just kind of taking his time. Says, "Hey, I got this wrist. Let me set up this Kimura." Switches to a one-arm grip. You don't see too many one-arm Kimuras. Do you even get your leg out here? No, you just kind of double down on the Kimura grip. That was nice, man. Really nice. I like that. Nice pass from James. James over here with Alex. Gets that scoop grip on the leg. And just a heavy pass on by. Settles in past the legs. I'm really trying to put to use my whizzer to keep John from taking my back. What happened? James gets around. Sets up Kimura, it looks like, yeah. It's a Kimura head scissor position. Very nice. That was really good, James. I like seeing a quick submission after a good pass like that. get the turnover on John, but he's just so quick to get back up. Got Jackson bringing the action. And John and Nick. Cool. Ronnie and James. Look away for 1 second. What happens? Nice. Nick catching that elbow really high on John. John goes for a Haragoshi here. Damn, gets Nick moving. Okay. Nick is able to maintain top position, though, while John sets up a guard. The throw or the trip. Did you about faceplant there? You were controlled by your head pretty good. Looks like you slipped out though. Don't worry. You're still pretty. Shoulder push attempt from Andrew to get Alex off base. Nick, you had an opportunity to sit into a leg attack there. Yeah, John's going to make it hard to get a hook in now. But there's something to be said for that knee on top of the hip like you just had a second ago. Because we've seen, how many times have we seen John kind of like that have these highly maneuverable hips that help him get out of these moves? This is annoying. Good work on the pushing with that Kimura. Yeah, you're just over the body. You're not in a spot for an armbar at that point. You're kind of too parallel with him. That was nice though. But yeah, anyway, having that knee on top of the hip to kind of prevent him from, it's not going to totally prevent him, but it could slow him down and trying to get his hips up and switch his legs to start facing the mat. If you know, nothing else, without like without a hook in or anything, that's something you could work with. Who has what here? So you dive on a Kimura. But yeah, okay, yeah, you still have the Kimura. Run around on it, and he guards up. All right. Alex on a head and arm. Okay. So Alex making his way to mount here. A little bit of smother, but Andrew's face is not in the mix, so he's not really going to worry about it too much. See some shoulder pressure across the face, but I don't think Alex is under the neck. So Andrew can just kind of ride this one out until he can get to a better position with his arms to maybe frame the hips. And Alex makes his way to the back. There we go. Body triangle setup. Nice. He's in a good spot now. And John with the sweep. I think you might have like a dog bar there. Maybe. I don't know. I think you'd have to like turn more belly down to get it. And also not get swept like that. Loser. Fair enough. Yeah, if Steven ever comes back, when he makes his rare monthly appearance, I would ask him about it if you cross paths with him. He's probably the only guy in the school that I could think of in the history of our school to like really hit them successfully, consistently. It really like it really jives with him, so he's the guy to talk to. I should probably pay some attention to that move. It's just never been one that I automatically think to try. It's good if you play a top half guard game though. The great thing about it is you're either going to get a submission or they're going to turn their body in such a way that it makes it easier for you to pass them. So it's a good dilemma to throw at them. Round over. There we go. All right, James and Andrew. Good guard from Andrew. Sweep single for me, but it didn't work. Back to standing. Ooh, a little ankle pick from Andrew. A quick response from James. Let's see this again. Yeah, good. That was a good post from James right after he hits the ground. Did he like counter ankle pick him? Looks like you got him with that leg. Like you hooked his foot with your foot, so as he goes to step back, you couldn't really go. Hell yeah. Ankle picks are also slept on, I think, in open guard. A lot of us just like end up going to our back and like trying to fight from there, enter into the legs. Ankle pick him, man. It's the best. Looks like James putting some simple passing mechanics to work. Very good. It's getting a little worried here about that knee position that I talked about earlier. And that was why. Trying to invert into cross-ashi, but Nick is just too far this way, so the leverage is not on my side. So I throw up a reverse triangle. Now I forgot about this, but I had you here for a good chunk of time, Nick. Was this ever close at all? I was like on my head. I was like this whole time just supporting. Yeah, see, that foot connection didn't feel good enough. And then now I'm looking for something else to attack while I have control. Yeah, you don't really look like you were ever in any danger here. For the strangle, at least. I should have gone for a toe hold. That's what Danny likes to do. But I don't know if I had easy access to your feet. See, because like a well-executed reverse triangle is the tightest, the absolute tightest of the triangles, like surprisingly so. But I just couldn't get the angle I needed, and I didn't have a good other limb to attack. What happened over here with James? Got an arm triangle smother situation, it looks like. Got Smothers Brothers at it today. Good. Oh, wrist lock? I'm never looking for the wrist lock. On the mat. I see. Okay. Look at you. Proud of you. I might be ready for wrist locks again. Needed a good week off from those. Nick, remind me, was there something you were trying to work with, like, I know I was talking trash to you about your turtle breakdowns, but was there actually like a technique or like something you were trying to work on this round around turtle position? I thought you maybe said something after the round, but I couldn't recall. Trying to pull your leg in and then basically hit a cutback single. That was not working for me and was a little sketchy. I felt like I was going to get triangled. Just experimenting with triangles when you reach. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's exactly what I was just saying. I trying to pull your leg in, but I could feel you kind of stepping over, trying to capture one. I can't let that happen. So again, more back escape stuff, making sure my neck is safe, seeing that I don't have any restrictions on my hip movement. So really focusing on sitting my hips out and getting safe. Would you wrist lock the other wrist now, James? Oh, that was just, I guess the timer went off. Yeah, okay. So low single on Alex. And snatch the leg up. Oh, here we go. Good example of the high step passing we went over in class. So I have my right leg up the middle here. I'm going to bring my left leg in close to the hip. That's right. I start walking him so that his knees are pointing upward, which is probably a detail I should have mentioned at class yesterday. But yeah, getting them flat on their back is a preferable spot to be here. I'll pin the far shoulder. There you see my left arm pinning cross-side shoulder, controlling that shin. High stepping out and around. There, he isn't able to follow me. I beat it, and I could settle into knee on belly in this case. There was a little wrestle up in that last round. I got you, homie. Let's see. There's a little wrestle up in that last round. Where did this happen? Was this here? Tell me if I need to go back further. That looks like a good wrestle up. Nice to a double. Okay, let's check this out. All right, so James, first off, our conversation after class about dealing with Andrew's style of pressuring in on open guard, not having, kind of, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but maybe feeling like you're running out of ideas there, not sure how to handle it. Looks like you handle it pretty well here. And you did it with some of the stuff I was talking about, right? This ankle grip being a really important part of this. So now Andrew can't step that leg back. You've got the shin in front, so he can't step that leg forward. You double up on the leg, and you just have to get your knees pointed down to the ground. You are in the makings of a risky spot with your head on the outside, but I think you know how to handle that, so it's not a huge deal. If you're a white belt, I would expect to see you get guillotined here. But you go 2-on-1 here. You stick to the leg really well. Andrew's got a great sprawl and some strong legs, so he's reacting correctly here. I'd like to see this arm actually in front of your shoulder, not reaching over, because like he can't post against you and like wedge in underneath you with that arm if it's on the outside. But you take advantage of that, start lifting up, get to your feet, and then switching to a double here. That was a really, really good response. I mean, again, that's a really great reaction to, albeit it's a bit energy intensive. All wrestling up is, but this is a great reaction to that pressure style of passing that Andrew likes to use. And it was real steady. I mean, like this was just gaining an inch, and then another inch, and then another inch. Like you're never losing any ground here. So once you get your knees underneath you, you're keeping that leg really close, and then just steadily trying to get back up to your feet. That was good, man. That was really good. And like I said, it all started with that. You know, keep in mind the other things I was saying too. I'd like to see you continue to work on this. I mean, especially if you find yourself here a lot and it's working for you. Remember those upper body connections we talked about, though. You know, a 2-on-1 on an arm, pulling him over you, or you know, using your leg to bump him this way. Let's see if there was an opportunity for that. So right here, this is where maybe this leg straightens out to get your knee behind his butt and then bumping him forward, right? You can give him a like kind of a V grip on the shoulder to like move him forward as you do that. That'll just open up other opportunities, but you've got a good answer here, man. That was very nice. Thank you for pointing that out. I totally missed it. Where are we at now? So high step passing on Alex, I think was the last thing I talked about. There we go. I like that you switched to the double too, because like coming up on a single, while absolutely feasible, like since you're already low and you don't need to like level change to get there, if you catch his legs close together, that just seems like a really, really good option. I see your little entry into 50-50. This is always fun. I definitely forget about this move sometimes. So chasing him down, and then a little 50-50 entrance. Ooh, Andrew taking Ronnie down over there. Andrew's got his. So this is funny. I said earlier, I talked about that front knee position being the winning factor in this kind of standing exchange. But here's the thing that's different in this case. Andrew's posture isn't broken down as much as it was when we saw Alex and I believe Nick in the similar position. So now Andrew's a bit more upright. He's got this great connection to Ronnie. Ronnie's arm is in some trouble here. So now Andrew can say, all right, well, we're going to go backwards instead. He takes Ronnie back, trips that leg out from under her. Really comes down to a posture battle there. So you trying to go false reap. Looks like you get into cross Ashi, James. That was nice. Sitting him down. Yeah, he gets his knee free though. But that's good. Yeah, come back up. Oh, throws on the triangle threat. Good reaction from John. Over back triangle escape. You're just using that thing from everywhere. Alex taking a page out of Luke's book, which I complimented him on after this. So let's watch what he does. He gets my legs pinned together. This is a pass Luke loves to do, right? Same. It's not like it's a little more beyond the Khabib pass I was talking about earlier. Like he's further up the body. A lot of times, guys, when they have the legs pinned, they'll step this leg back and pass to side control. Luke says, why would I do that when I just crawl over your knees and settle into mount? And that's what Alex does here. So I was like, dude, you need to talk to Luke about some of his passing tendencies and his techniques that he likes. It will probably dovetail into your game pretty nicely. John looking for a Kimura possibly. James just sitting up. Starting to peter out here. This was a slow Saturday, but I think it was because we had a bunch of people at the comp. But big props to the 8 of us that stuck around and trained for a whole hour. Or most of an hour. What kind of sweep was that? So watch, see my arm position here, taking it outside of Alex's knees. I've got this connection into the hip here. My foot is on the ground. That means I'm going to do one thing, and it's bridge hard in this direction. His foot almost blocks me from getting up, but I'm able to power through on that sweep. And I land in a position to start working the body lock technique that I went over at class, which Alex knows I'm going to start doing. he was ready for it immediately. So I get to work back on high step passing instead. And there it is again. High step into the knee on belly position. And I'm working the knee on belly again because it was my way of trying to either get an underhook on him or work to mount in a way that Peters often likes to do, where you're like kind of using your shin to push their legs down as you pressure across. Here's one more example. Sorry, I know I'm jumping all over the place. Here's one more example of me attempting to float pass right there. So I get my leg on top of his leg, trying to extend it, but he kicks me off, gets me off balance, and is able to regard. There's the head and knee push right into a guard pass. James and John do anything? Nah, they're chilling. Oops. Alex's arms are difficult to separate from his body. All right, good round. All right, me and James finish this off all the way on the side of the screen, of course. Okay, we'll stay here. I won't zoom. We get to see your wall work in action, James. I think it starts about here. Really sending me backwards. I give Give up my back, and you whip me to the ground. What are these two doing? Alright, so Andrew starts down. Pulls. Okay, kind of pulls into the legs. Doesn't really have a leg isolated though. And John was on a toe hold threat. Andrew comes up on the single, dumps him down. John rolling that all the way through to end up in mount. Now on his way to the back. Looks like you guys are kind of flowing. Yeah, this is more of a flow roll. And I'm just trying to survive James at this point. James, I feel like you were on a mission to avenge our last roll. I think you said as much at the end of this one. You're like, yeah, I like that roll better. Good upper body pressure to try to prevent me from getting the turtle, but I'm able to get there. Making it difficult, though. Yeah. Wait until the last round to call me out and beat me up. Nah, this is a good round. Nice jumping pass there from John. Yeah, James, this round for me was much more of an exercise in guard retention. Yeah, really putting to use a lot of turtle, which to me is for myself, not for any of you, but for myself. It's kind of shameful. I like to be a bit more offensive than how I was this round, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Can't have you wrist locking me with the mat or something, you know. Yeah, every time you're about to pass, start turtling back up. Here, working to a 4-point stance. Try for a sit out. I don't know why they never work for me, because y'all are big and I'm not. Check in with these two. Andrew almost following through with that. John's able to shrug it off. Yeah, and I just couldn't make any advancement here, man. So they're coming up on the end of the round. Turn out of turtle. Probably not the best idea. I pretty much turn into a guard pass. So those two wrap it up, and there we go. Yeah, much better round for you at that time, James. Good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're all enjoying a weekend, a 3-day one at that. If you're like me, big congrats to everybody who competed yesterday. I know it was a hard day for some, good day for others. A day where I'm sure, regardless of the outcomes, you guys learned some stuff. So please, as always, bring that stuff back to class. Help your other partners learn too. Think about the holes in your game. Think about the strengths. And just start thinking about how you can become even better at this stupid sport we all agree to do. So Any questions you have, anything you want to go over, as always, you know you can bring it up to us. We're happy to go over it with you. If there was something I mentioned on here, bring it up in class if you have any more questions about it. Hopefully, we will get all the comp footage put together and we can review it soon. I mean, hell, Jake had 6 matches. Danny had 2. I think Dylan had 2. David had like 3 or 4. So we got a lot to go over. It'll be cool to see. If you're lurking, hit the follow button. Espionage, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. Always good to talk to you, man. Thanks for following. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Subscribe at YouTube as well, where I will post this for you guys to review if you want to. And I'll be teaching on Tuesday. I think we're moving on to half guard now. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, starting half guard week. I think Luke's on Monday as usual. I'll be there Tuesday. And yeah, regular old schedule. So hope to see you guys on the mats. Before you get there, make sure you go trim your nails, do your laundry. Do not be stinky. I'll see you back on the mats. Take it easy, guys.